Hi, this is Vicki with My Paper Connection. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. And this week I have been featuring the Dandy Garden Suite, which consists of Garden Wishes stamp set and dies. And then there's also the Dragonfly Garden Bundle, which includes a punch. And I'll actually be posting a video that I did live last night that will have all of that. So it's super fun, sweet, lots of really cool stamp images, and the sentiments, the fonts with it are just so pretty. I'll show it to you really quickly. You've got 2 stamp sets, you've got laser cuts, you've got memory mores, envelopes and cards, ladybug trinkets that are so cute. And then you've got the Mossy Meadow braided trim along with 6x6 designer series paper. So fun. This is from the mini catalog, January to June 2021. If you don't already have a catalog and you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to send one to you if you would like one. Just message me and let me know. My web address is across the top, mypaperconnection.com. Along with this, I will also send you a celebration brochure from now until February 28th. For every $50 that you spend, you can earn a free item. And it's also a great time if you have $125 worth of product that you would like to spend, you can get it for $99. And not only that, and it's your choice, whatever you choose of that $125, you'll get it for $99. You won't pay shipping. And not only that, you will receive 5 of these different designer series papers. They're 6x6, and I love the patterns and the colors. They're so pretty. So again, message me if you don't already have a catalog and would like one. All right, so let's get started. This is one other little project that I made using the Dragonfly Gardens. When I sent my catalogs out to my existing customers, everyone got one of these little bookmarks or gift tags, whatever you want to use it for. It's so cute. It says, "May good things grow all year long." And it's just such a cute dragonfly. Love the colors. Anyway, so this is a card that we did at my last card class. I don't have my bone folder handy, so here's a good tip for you. If you don't have your bone folder handy to really go along the score lines, you can take a block and you can just move right along the fold and the crease of that, and look how flat that ends up being. It works really well. I prefer to have my bone folder, but those blocks work great. Now this is crumb cake, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. But don't worry, if you don't need to write all this down right now. If you'll go to my blog, you'll see all of the measurements and all of the different pieces that I used. Now this is Mossy Meadow, and it is 4 by 5 1/4. And then this is some of the designer series paper that I cut out. For this card, you'll see that I used the green and white, and then the one with these little cute little marigolds. No, those are, why did I say marigolds? Those are dandelions. And then I used the back side right here, okay? But here, look at these colors as well. Aren't they pretty? So, you could do 3 like this, or you could flip one. You could flip 2 and do it like this. I think this is the way I'm going to do it today. Just going to switch it up just a little bit. I believe these are, I know they're 5 inches long, and they are 1 1/4 inches wide. And it does not leave a whole lot of space in between, but I'm okay with that. That's actually that's actually what I wanted to happen. I'm going to go ahead and put this one on the left-hand side first. Actually, I'm going to flip it. It's easier for me to see my margins when I do it in this fashion. And you want to try to have the same amount of space on all 4 sides. And then I'm going to do this one next. And I'm going to use the green side, and you see how I flipped that around. It's just easier to lay those down. And by putting the left and the right first, I can make sure that I got enough space, that they're not going to be hanging off the sides. And truthfully, if for some reason, okay, that's not even, so I'm going to scooch it down just a wee bit. If for some reason you don't give yourself 1 1/4 inches of space in the center, it's not a big deal if it overlaps. but it's actually going to fit perfectly right inside there. But that's the reason why I put the left and the right sides on first. I think it's just really important to do that. Okay, so there is a design that's going this way, and I want to make sure my dragonflies are not flying upside down. So I'm going to turn it around. You have to be careful and cognizant of your patterns. And I do want to try to line up the tops and the bottoms here. Okay. All right, I'm just going to put that to the side for right now. Look at the difference in it though. I love that pop of color. It's really pretty. Okay, so this is a piece that I've already cut out using my Stitched So Sweetly frame. And I'm going to bring in black memento. And I have my dandelion here. And it's a pretty large image. Anytime I have an image this large, I like to just kind of put it upside down, and then I just go along and ink it in this way. It's a lot easier to make sure that I've got it all covered with ink. Okay, and I want it onto the left side there, so I'm just going to go ahead and I turned it so it's easier for me to see what I'm doing, especially with a camera above my head. Okay, that's lovely. Now I'm going to take my little bumblebee, and I am going to place him right about in here. Okay, he's not completely colored in, but I'm going to color him, and it's going to be okay. Then I'm going to bring in my sentiment using Mossy Meadow ink. I'm going to stamp on the back of it because I've had a little trouble with my ink pad. I inked it not too long ago, and I don't always get it consistent, so I just kind of went over it with a spoon to make sure. I just want to make sure I got a good coverage on it. All right, so I'm going to come in here, right here. And that works really well. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do with my ink is to bring in my bumblebee. All right, so I brought in my bumblebee ink, and I'm going to use, it's this little circle, and basically what it is the inside of the dandelion. See? Isn't that great? I love that. Okay, so now I'm just going to color in my stem, and I'm going to use Mossy Meadow Combo, light and dark. I'm going to do the dark first, and then come back over it with the light. For my bumblebee, I'm going to use the combo of Smoky Slate. I'll do the same, dark first, then light, and then I'm using Mango Melody. There's not actually a stamping blend for the bumblebee color, but there is Mango Melody, and it's a pretty close color. So that's how I'm going to do it. And I've also brought in a black pen that I'm just, after I'm done coloring it all in, I'm just going to go right around his head and just kind of do some speckles so that it's all colored in and it looks complete. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward during all of this. But let me first say, I'm going to use the bullet point on the stem, and there's little tiny pieces right in here that are drawn in. I'm just going to do like little dots on that so I don't get outside the line. Okay, so now that I have a little bit more space and a little bit more room, I'm going to use the brush tip. So I'm just going to come right along in here and just quickly blend that together. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I got out of line slightly right here. There's one of two things I could do for that, but one, I could put a bow right here, but since I'm using a ribbon around here, I just felt like that might be a little much. So I'm going to take my color lifter and just go right along in there. It's not going to remove it completely, but it's going to shift it around and thin it out. Going to put a little bit of the dark around here on his head, and then I'm going to go back in with my marker and just kind of then I'm going to go in with the light and just kind of mix that around a little bit. There we go. I like that. Okay, I have made an executive decision here. I am not going to put the Mossy Meadow across here like I did on this one. I'm actually going to use my linen thread. I'm going to make a bow and I'm going to put it on the base right here of that. You know, sometimes your mistakes can end up being some of the cutest results. We'll see. We'll see if that's the case. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my linen thread. I'm doubling it up. I don't know if this is how far I want it yet, so I'm not going to trim that just yet, but I'm going to do a bunny ear. I'm going to do another bunny ear. And here's something that I found. If you have trouble getting that through there, then what you can do is remove your finger from there. I like to keep these two tails together. Let me put my little loop back, but you can remove your finger, keep your tails together, then you can take your pick tool or sharp object or whatever, go in there and just pull it through. Okay? All right. So these are my tails here. I just haven't clipped that one yet, so don't let that confuse you. I'm going to hold those out of the way and tighten it up. Then I can cinch it up the way I want it to be. I don't want it to be quite that large. By this point, I can go ahead and I know for sure that I don't want any more than that. So, there we go. That's going to be great. All right, so just take my glue dot. And put a glue dot right there. I'm going to place it on my card right where I messed up right there. And then I will just trim off my tails. I think before I do that though, I'm going to go ahead and put it on here because I would like to have an idea of how much of that tail that I need. So let me go ahead and put this on the back. Here's another good use for your take your pick. I love that it makes it easy to take them off and it also corrals them right there in that one spot. All right, so before I put that on, I'm going to go ahead and put this in place. Right about here, I want to make sure again, same amount of margins all the way around. Yes, okay. Now that it's in place, I don't have to hold on to it like that to make sure, I don't have to hold the bow. I can just trim it and trim it. Okay, then I'm just going to pull it out a little bit because it looks a little wonky right now. So, and even after it's stuck in place, you can still kind of tweak it just slightly. And if you get one bow bigger than the other, just take your pick. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue this on. All right, for my inside, I just went ahead and stamped a dandelion, and I did it just like I did this, and I'm going to glue this on the inside, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so that's got my card done. Which one do you like best? I think I actually like this one better. I like it not being cut in the middle here. I like having this here, and I even like not adding the embellishments to it. But I'd be interested to see what you have to say. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them. I love thumbs up. I love comments. And if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do. I would love to have you a part of my viewing community. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.